Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here. So first things first, don't get distracted. It is my birthday month, but we got more important things to talk about today. We're going to talk about some exercises that you could do at home with minimal equipment. So we're going to give you some different options here. So this is a normal kind of band that you see. This is called an infinity loop, and this is an NT loop. So just giving you guys some different options. They all kind of do the same thing. There's some advantages and disadvantages to both. The one caveat to this is you need a high anchor point. So something like a pull-up bar can be really effective. I wish I knew the model of this one, but this one was really pretty easy to install, very sturdy. So this is good. Just going to give you some more options. Obviously you could do pull-ups and stuff, and if you guys are interested in pull-up progressions, we could certainly talk about that. But for now, we're just going to use it as an anchor point today. So with the NT loop is great because you don't need a pull-up bar, so that'd be great if you don't have a pull-up bar. You can just get this because this little tab here goes in your door. So I can bring it as a high anchor point, a medium anchor point, or a low anchor point. So I'm just going to show the high anchor point stuff today because it's going to give you the most bang for your buck. And then for these things, these exercises, we are just going to choke around the pull-up bar like this. And that will allow us to do high anchor point exercises. We did the previous video, we did low anchor point exercises. We just used our feet or a chair to do that. So this is going to allow us, again, if you're going to be seated, make sure your chair or bench is secure, or make sure you have a loved one or somebody can help you out. So what's nice about this infinity loop, there's two handles here for the band, so it's going to allow for more versatility if you're doing things where you're spreading your arms. So for example, if I'm doing something like a face pull, which is great for your rear delts and upper back, it's going to allow me to diverge and converge. So I'm converging here and diverging here. So if I want to work like my rotator cuff, or if I want to do a face pull and work my upper back and traps, I could do those kind of things. I could do some shoulder extension and pullovers. So again, most of your exercises are probably going to be seated, which is fine. If I wanted to, again, I could be seated here and I could do an overhead tricep extension if I had a higher chair. So I could do overhead tricep extensions. I could do regular extensions again if I had to just bring the chair closer to the door. And all my upper back stuff, I'm going to do more at a 45-degree angle. So I could do like lat pull downs here. I could do a stretcher, which is kind of a combination of a lat pull down and row. What's nice about that is you're also going to work your lower back a little bit, which will help with your bench arch. So I'm kind of adding in some lower back extension as well as shoulder extension there. So those are some great options with the infinity loop. I could also, do some biceps and stuff there, and I could do some pull-aparts as well with this guy. Okay, so that's a great option. You can get that from Spud Inc. Again, I don't get any commission on this stuff, just trying to help you guys out. So I could do similar stuff with these bands. When you're using two, I do like to kind of take advantage of potentially crossing them, and I could do all my, again, upper back and rear delt type stuff. So again, just depends on what you have access to. I just want to kind of show you some different variations with those. And then again, what's great about this NT loop is you don't need a pull-up bar to anchor it. So that's a really good option if you want to just get one thing. So again, I can still do my triceps here. I can do overhead triceps here, again with a higher, if I have a higher chair. I could do my lat pull downs. So I could do them just overhand. I can go underhand pull down. I could do more of a face pull or a rear delt type motion. I could do more of a row motion. So there's lots of options here that you could do. If I want to go to a different angle, I can come here and I can do more of a, I could do a one arm row or a two arm row. So this is going to be more of a rowing type motion, whereas the high anchor point will be doing more of a pull down type motion. If I want to work my abs and get some obliques here. So one of the things that some athletes have trouble with is bobbling the bar in the bottom, and they have to kind of balance that rotation. So this is a great exercise to train kind of your obliques and your kind of anti-rotation muscles. So one of the common faults we see in para powerlifting is kind of a seesaw or bobbling the bar in the bottom. So this is called an anti-rotation press. I can grab it like this or here, and I'm just going to hold, so I'm resisting that rotation. So this is an excellent ab exercise that you could do seated. If I want to do anti-lateral flexion, I just bring the band overhead, so now I'm resisting side bending. So I could just do a dynamic contraction. If you have any spinal considerations, I recommend just doing a static contraction. That way you're not getting wear and tear on the joint, but you're actually just training the muscle. So again, if you have spinal considerations, just hold for time. So again, resisting that rotation. If you don't have any considerations with the spine, I like to do the isometric versions personally, so I would do that on both sides. So again, we call this an seated anti-rotation. That's a seated anti-rotation. So 5, 10, 20-second holds, and then a seated anti-lateral flexion. So I'm working my core from a seated position. Excellent, and the isometric versions are very easy on the low back, but they get great muscle activation. So that's some great options there. And if I want to do a low anchor point, I can do that as well. So we can do more type bicep work here. So I can grab it like this, or I can do a hammer grip. And what's nice about this is it's also resisting supination, which is one of the functions of the bicep besides elbow flexion. So this band is also pulling me not just into extension of the elbow, but also pronation of that forearm. So I'm working both functions of the bicep. I could do a row or a high pull from this action as well. So that's going to be more like traps and a little bit of side delt as well. And I could do, depending on where you start, I could do some tricep kickbacks. So this is a little bit hard tension for me, so I'll need to come up a little bit further to do that. So I can do some tricep kickbacks there. Try not to let your shoulder dump forward. So this NT loop is great. You can get these on Amazon. Also, if you go to Nick Tuminello's site, again, I don't get any commission on these things. But that's some great options. So as far as if you have any questions on where to get some of this equipment, just let me know. But this is really, really great stuff. It doesn't require a lot. You just need a chair and a door. Most people have that. And again, if you want to do them, even do some of these exercises seated on the floor. Just be safe, be smart, test your unloaded range of motion first, and then add the resistance, add the band. And as with all the bands, if I want to grab it higher up, that's going to make it harder, a little further out. Obviously, so I got to adjust my distance from the anchor point. Further away is going to make it harder, closer is going to make it easier. And if I grab it higher up, that's going to make it harder and easier. So those are some ways, even if you just have one, to adjust the resistance. And obviously, you can start to increase the reps over time, do slow eccentrics, add pauses in the top and the bottom. So lots of great options here. So there's still a ton of stuff you could do to train, even if you don't have a barbell available. So great stuff here. We're not just kind of lifting soup cans that have no load on it, right? This is going to be some great options where you can actually progress and get stronger over time. So I hope this video finds you well. Thanks. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.